Do you guys still think that freaking Barb is not gonna be Harley Quinn? Are you guys still out there holding out that she's just gonna be Barbara Queen and she's not gonna be Harley Quinn? Because she freaking acted very Harley Quinn in this episode! Come on, who's with me? You don't think that freaking shot, or that scene, I should say, when it was Riddler, the mayor, and freaking, I almost called her Harley Quinn right now, Barbara, you don't think she was acting very Harley there? I think she was acting very Harley there. She was all like, you know, she was doing very, I don't know, she was talking like her. I felt like she had a little bit of her mannerisms, the way she was going around the chair, all that kind of jazz. Just gonna point it out too. Did you see what she was wearing? She was wearing black, red, and, black and red. Sorry, I was gonna say, I was like, wait, is she wearing white? I couldn't remember if she was wearing white. But she was wearing freaking black and red, and if you saw the freaking fur, I'm dying. If you saw the freaking, like, fur thing she was wearing, it was kind of, like, patterned, and it was, like, black, and I couldn't tell if the fur was brown or red, but either way, the dress was red. She had very Harley colors, and man, oh man, I'm telling you guys, she's going to be Harley. They suddenly just have her start acting like that. That way, when the change happens, everybody can be like, she's just acting the same. She just looks different and blah, 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 blah. They can do something like that. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of evidence there that she could become Harley Quinn. Since we're on the topic of Barbara, man, her and Tabby, ooh, they're gonna go at it. I want to see a hot girl fight. But man, I loved when freaking Tabitha got up in her face because freaking Barbara's all in. She's like, if there's somebody else, how am I ever gonna have complete control? And she was like, don't you mean we'll have complete control? That's not what she said, but you know what I mean. It's something along those lines. She got all up in her face, and Butch was like, I've seen this happen a million times. Freaking power corrupts people. And she's like, shut up! And she like walked off. Tabitha just wants Riddler freaking dead, and Barbara keeps working with him, and man, that ain't a good thing for relationships. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. If somebody chops off your girl's hand, you gotta hate the other person. But I kind of have to question Tabitha's whole thing of like, oh, don't you mean we will run the city or whatever? Because like, look, Tabitha, you put yourself in a freaking bad spot. Because in the last episode, you were the damn bodyguard when fucking Barbara was sitting in a chair answering phones saying, Barbara Queen! You put yourself behind her. There should have been 2 chairs and y'all should have both been answering phones and saying shit. But no! You could at least take the mantle of king or something. Like, you're letting her freaking get all the control, and you're just sitting in the back doing all the muscle work. So Tabby, I kind of have to say that you're letting it go to Barbara's head. So you know, I gotta throw a little shade at you, trying to say like, don't you mean we'll freaking run the thing? Because you're letting her run everything, it seems. Found out later in the episode how much Tabitha really hates Riddler by sabotaging his plan with the mayor and telling Gordon how to freaking defuse that bomb, or at least, you know, change the frequency so it won't go off or whatever. So that was very interesting because she just helped out a cop. And, you know, woo! I want to see how that's going to freaking end between Tabitha and Riddler. We all know that freaking Riddler ain't going to die. So, you know, is freaking Tabitha going to die? I don't think she's going to die this season or anything like that. But that feud is going to go on for a really long... That sneeze totally just threw off my train of thought. But anyways, Riddler! Let's talk about the freaking Riddler. Because, I have to say, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Although he gave himself the nickname, which, you know, a lot of you guys freaked out on me about that. And you're like, oh! What happened with that was I was kind of going off the whole, like, you can't give yourself your own nickname, but then also kind of hating the idea at the same time, because I felt like he should have got it from somewhere else. That was just my personal opinion. But, you know, I do know from the comic books that he actually gave himself the name. And so it fits with this character. A lot of you guys made some awesome counterpoints in that freaking video, by the way. But anyways, in this one, you're seeing now that the newspapers are calling him the Riddler. I kind of like that. I thought that was cool. And then everybody else is starting to call him the Riddler, too. And he's starting to do more Riddler-y type things. And I love how Riddler is the one trying to bring the court out, because it's something that comes back from season 2, a riddle that he's never been able to master, or figure out, I should say, and he just wants to figure it out so much, and he's just making all these plans to get to the court. And at the end of the episode, we saw that he actually did get to the end of the court, or not the end of the court, but to the Court of Owls, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with him, because... what do you know? I mean, he's, again, gonna be in a big crime syndicate like Indian Hill. They used him there, and now the Court of Owls is gonna use him for something? We know Riddler is gonna come back to the city somehow. Is he going to be maybe part of, I mean, I don't know, I want to see if they're going to use him somehow, or if he's going to find out everything going on with the court, and he's going to be like, no, I gotta team up with somebody to end this shit, and that's probably where he's going to team up with Penguin and all the freaks to try to beat the court at their whole, like, mysterious, like, we gotta destroy Gotham kind of shit. I do want to ask you guys, how do you feel about the Riddler right now? Are you liking him? Are you liking the personality? I'm kind of like, you know, it's not too bad. It's not the greatest kind of right now. I don't like the random yelling. I like it when it's funny, but not when it's not, like, I don't know, if that's what he's just always gonna do, to just, like, randomly raise his voice. I don't know about that. I liked it in that episode where, you know, Lucius was getting the wrong answers, and Riddler was like, no! No! Because I thought that was hilarious. But if he just randomly yells for no reason, like, you know, the way he did in the news video, I was like, I don't really like that. Moving on to the Penguin, I loved at the end of the episode when Penguin, you know, got all the freaks to his house, and he saw the news with the Riddler on that he totally called out Ed with calling himself the Riddler, because he was like, man, how long did it take him to come up with that name? I love that the Penguin knew, like, so much about Riddler that he had to name himself. So there you go. Like, that makes sense right there, which I really like. Thanks for putting those puzzle pieces together, Gotham. But speaking of Penguin, we saw him going around starting to build his army of freaks with Ivy. And I gotta say, and I'm throwing it out there, I said it in the last episode, Ivy Penguin better than Enigma Penguin. Come at me, bros! I just feel like it's a better dynamic, personally. I like it. She's quirky. He's weird. I love it. You know, he's angry. I just like it. But we saw Victor Fries, you know, it's freaking Mr. Freeze. We saw Mr. Freeze actually join the group after he was in some, like, Antarctica place or some shit like that. I don't know how they got there, how they knew he was there, what was going on, but man, that was crazy. But that's badass that they went to go get Mr. Freeze. And then they got Firefly, which I didn't get to verify if that was a different actress or the same actress, because everybody's like, why does Firefly look different? I gotta go back and watch the episode to see the credits, because she's not on IMDb for that episode. So I'm like, is it the same chick or not? If you can clarify that, let me know in the comment sections down below. But Firefly was a badass. The way she just quit her job, I think, is the way a lot of people would like to quit their jobs when they have shitty bosses. Like, oh no, I got this, Quacha, boss, like freaking melted lava in his face, and he was like, ah! So the Freak Squad looks like they're about to tear shit up, because they got some badass people on their side, and I'm really interested to see what's going to happen and if they're going to take down freaking Barbara's stuff. You know, I had this idea of Barbara going after the court, which, you know, she's so freaking power-strung on figuring out who these people are because she wants to be at the top. I still have my theory of maybe she's going to chase them and falls into a vat or something like that, or something happens to her when she's trying to chase the court that causes her to become Harley Quinn. But it could also be her running from the freaks, and something could happen there. So one of those two groups, I think, is going to be the reason that freaking Barbara changes into Harley. On to the next thing, we freaking saw that Clone Bruce is dying. Alfred is totally on his case. He knows something's up. But anyways, you know, freaking the clone is able to come up with some story, and Alfred kind of like, alright, I'll buy that for now. But anyways, I don't know how Bruce just straight up left Alfred. I guess he said he snuck out, right? But, you know, you think Alfred would have came in and been like, oh, you're bleeding, blah, blah, what's going on? Why are you leaving? Why are you running from me? You know, those gotta be questions that Alfred is going to answer. Anyways, so, we find out Clone Bruce is dying, and that, you know, okay, we find out that Clone Bruce is dying, and he wants to go save Selina because he knows about the Court of Owl's plan to, you know, destroy Gotham or whatever. So he goes to talk to Selina. He admits to Selina that he's not actual Bruce, and then all this shit happens. She doesn't want to freaking talk to him because he only wants to save Selina, and she was like, that's why you're not freaking Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne would want to save everybody like Batman would. And then freaking Clone Bruce pushes Selina out the window as she fucking falls to what we could assume is her death, but I'm assuming that somehow these are going to be like 9 lives, and we saw the very freaking Batman Returns. I'm sorry, I stopped right there midway before I said Batman Returns because I was going to say a different, I was going to say Batman Forever, but I was like, no, that's not it. And I had to verify that it is Batman Returns. That was totally the scene from Batman Returns when she got pushed out of the window. She falls all the way down, freaking Michelle Pfeiffer does, and she falls down and she's dead, and then all the cats surround her. This is exactly what happened in Gotham, and that is the best homage that you could pay to that movie or to the comics or anything. Thought that was freaking awesome. Applauds to you, Gotham. Applauds to you, because the start of freaking Catwoman has begun. The last thing we need to talk about is Jim joining the Court of Owls. He's going deep undercover into this one. He brought the Court Riddler, and they're now like, oh yeah, now you can be a part of the Court of Owls. Here's your cool Court of Owls sunglasses. Did you see how those things went on their freaking faces? They're legit just like sunglasses with an owl mask. I want one. Gotham, can you send me one? Oh shit, speaking of that, I totally have something to show you guys. Let me finish the video and then I'll show you guys, because I thought it was pretty awesome. But Gotham sent me something actually, and I think it's fucking legit. Anyways, Jim joins the Court of Owls, and bada bing, bada boom. I really just want to show you guys what I got. But there's not really much. We saw that Jim joined the Court of Owls, and this is going to lead in to something else. And we're seeing, if you saw the previews to the next episode, it looks like Bruce is going to be a motherfucking badass. I can't wait for next week's episode. But also, it seems like Jim is getting tired of not being in the inner circle, and he wants a seat at the actual table of the people that are talking about destroying Gotham. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he's finally going to start pushing the Court of Owls, and that could get him killed, or it might just get him a seat at the table. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I do want to know what your guys' theories are about what's going to happen next. The biggest thing for me in this episode was Selina getting pushed out the window and the whole possible Harley thing. I mean, come on, she really seems like she's going to be Harley. Anyways, let me show you the cool stuff I got. So in case you guys didn't watch last week's episode, Gotham had sent me like a little care package of an owl and a slate for Ben McKenzie's directorial debut. And I was like, alright, cool, this was something badass. I thought it was just for that, because it was going to be the first episode he's ever directed, or his directorial debut ever in doing anything. So I was like, alright, that was cool, they sent me. Well, I got another package and the episode early this past week, and I was like, holy crap, and they sent me something really awesome, and it is this little plate that says Gotham, and this freaking cup that has a skull on it and stuff, and on the inside, it says drink me, and look at how cool that freaking, like, ooh, look at, let me drink my tea, let me drink my tea. And they also brought me the freaking, I can't even talk, they also sent me the freaking tea right here, and it's called Gotham Green Tea, and it's actual shit you can drink for the Mad Hatter. Oh, what is that saying? Oh, look at this. Look at me drink my tea. I'm like the Mad Hatter. This is freaking cool. Maybe I'll throw these up on my Instagram so you guys can actually have some really clear photos of what this looks like, but this is so badass, man. Although the freaking cup and everything was nice, they also sent me this awesome letter that reads, heroes are rising in Gotham, but villains are still on the prowl. Why, even the Riddler has aligned with the Court of Owls. These are very stressful times to be sure, but courtesy of Jarvis Tetch, here's a cure. Here is a special teacup with Gotham's finest teas. Surely Tetch is mad as a hatter, but this time he's aiming to please. Although there's a deadly virus out there, of which he's the master, some of this soothing tea will help you forget the disaster. So put on the kettle and start the water to boil, and brew up a cup to savor as you toil. There is nothing better to ease your plight than some green tea while watching Gotham on Monday night. That was freaking legit. Thank you, Gotham, WB, Fox. All of you are so badass. You don't need to send me that kind of stuff, but I like showing that stuff that you guys send, because I know freaking the audience would love to just see how awesome the company is. And I know a lot of people might not agree, like myself, with the decisions that are being made on the show sometimes, but that doesn't mean that there aren't still awesome people working behind the scenes. So thank you guys, you were badass. But anyways, guys, I want to know what you thought of this episode, what you thought of those cool goody things that I just got sent. And let me know what you think is going to happen in these last few episodes of Gotham. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all of your Gotham buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, Juicebox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!